Texas is known for freedom. Big trucks, wide open highways, and the idea that you can live your life without being told what to do. A lot of people move to Texas thinking the rules are relaxed, or that enforcement is looser than other states. But what most people don't realize is that Texas has some surprisingly strict laws hiding in plain sight. Laws that people break every single day without realizing it. And most of the time, people don't learn about these laws until it's already too late. What makes these laws especially dangerous is that they don't feel illegal. They feel normal. They feel like everyday behavior. Parking, driving, shopping, even simple gestures. But under Texas law, some of the most ordinary actions can still get you fined, ticketed, or pulled into a legal situation you never expected. So before you assume, this is Texas, I'm good, here are 5 Texas laws you probably didn't know about, explained in a way most people never hear them. And by the end of this video, there's a good chance you'll realize you've broken at least one of these without even knowing it. Let's start with a law that shocks homeowners more than almost anything else. In Texas, it is illegal to block a driveway. And yes, that includes blocking your own driveway. Most people assume that if it's their house and their vehicle, it shouldn't matter. But Texas law doesn't see it that way. If your vehicle blocks a driveway in a way that interferes with visibility, sidewalk access, or traffic flow, an officer can legally issue a citation. This happens constantly during everyday situations. Someone pulls halfway across their driveway while unloading groceries. A car sits across the driveway during a party. A truck blocks the driveway during a quick move. Even if it's only for a few minutes, even if no one complains, even if it's your own property, it can still be ticketed. The reason behind this law is public safety. Blocked driveways can create blind spots for pedestrians and drivers. They can restrict emergency access. They can force people into the street to walk around vehicles. But what frustrates people is how strictly this can be enforced. Many homeowners don't even realize they're breaking the law until they come outside and find a ticket on their windshield. This law becomes especially controversial in dense neighborhoods and during holidays, where parking is already tight. And yes, neighbors absolutely call this in more than people want to admit. It's one of those laws that feels unfair until you realize how often it's enforced. The second law catches drivers who believe going slower automatically means they're being safer. In Texas, you can be pulled over and cited for driving too slowly if you're impeding traffic. Everyone knows about speeding tickets, but far fewer people realize that driving under the speed limit can also be a violation under certain conditions. If you're driving in the left lane and refusing to move over, if you're going significantly below the flow of traffic, or if you're causing vehicles to stack up behind you, an officer can legally stop you. Even if you're under the speed limit. Even if you think you're being cautious. Texas highways are designed for traffic flow. This is why you'll see signs that say, "Left lane for passing only." Those signs are not suggestions. Ignoring them doesn't just annoy other drivers. It can justify a traffic stop. Officers are allowed to decide whether a driver is impeding traffic based on conditions, speed, and behavior. This law exists to reduce congestion, prevent aggressive passing, and limit road rage incidents. But it also leads to a lot of arguments because people feel like they're being punished for being careful. In reality, Texas law prioritizes predictable movement over slow movement. And if you disrupt that flow, even unintentionally, it can cost you. The third law is one of the most misunderstood in the entire state. Open carry is legal in Texas, but that does not mean you can carry everywhere. A lot of people assume that if something is legal statewide, it applies universally. In Texas, that's not how it works. Private property owners have the legal right to ban firearms from their premises. Businesses can do this by posting specific signage, commonly referred to as 30.06 or 30.07 signs. These signs are legally binding. If you ignore them and carry anyway, you're no longer protected by carry laws. At that point, it becomes a trespassing issue. And trespassing charges can escalate quickly. What starts as a misunderstanding can turn into a criminal offense if someone refuses to leave after being notified. This law causes constant debate because people confuse legality with permission. Texas strongly protects property rights, and those rights can override carry permissions. This becomes especially important in places like restaurants, event venues, workplaces, and privately owned facilities. Even some locations that appear public are legally private property. Ignoring posted signage is one of the fastest ways to turn illegal activity into a serious problem. The fourth law surprises people because it involves something many drivers do without thinking. In Texas, certain hand gestures and aggressive actions toward other drivers can be considered disorderly conduct. This includes obscene gestures, threatening movements, or any behavior an officer believes could escalate a situation. Road rage is taken very seriously in Texas. Officers are given wide discretion when determining whether behavior is aggressive or provocative. While many people think flipping someone off is harmless, in the wrong context, it can be interpreted as an attempt to provoke a confrontation. This law exists to prevent situations from turning violent. Texas has seen too many road rage incidents escalate into physical altercations or worse. As a result, behavior that might seem minor can still lead to a citation or arrest if an officer believes it contributed to a dangerous situation. This surprises people because it feels subjective. And in many ways it is. The key factor is whether the action could reasonably be seen as escalating conflict. Losing your temper behind the wheel might feel justified in the moment, but under Texas law, it can still come back to haunt you. The fifth law trips up both residents and visitors because Texas alcohol laws are famously confusing. Depending on the day, the location, and the type of alcohol involved, selling or purchasing alcohol during certain hours can still be illegal. Liquor stores in Texas must close on Sundays. Alcohol sales are restricted during certain holiday periods, and some counties and cities enforce additional local alcohol regulations. That means what's legal in one part of Texas may be illegal just a few miles away. This catches tourists off guard constantly. People assume statewide rules apply everywhere. But Texas allows local jurisdictions to set their own alcohol laws. Buyers can be fined. Sellers can lose licenses. And ignorance of the rule doesn't protect anyone. What makes this law frustrating is inconsistency. You might legally buy alcohol at one store and be denied at another across the street. But under Texas law, local authority matters. Now here's where things get even more interesting. These laws don't exist in isolation. They interact with each other in ways most people never think about. Parking violations can turn into towing situations. Traffic stops can escalate into searches. Trespassing issues can become criminal records. Texas law places a heavy emphasis on discretion. That means enforcement often depends on the situation, the officer, and the behavior of the people involved. Two people can commit the same action and receive very different outcomes. That unpredictability is what catches people off guard. Another reason these laws cause so much controversy is because many of them are enforced selectively. People don't see them every day, so they assume they're not real. But when enforcement does happen, it feels sudden and unfair. In reality, the law was always there. This is why understanding these rules matters, not to scare people, but to prevent unnecessary problems. Most tickets, fines, and legal issues aren't caused by malicious behavior. They're caused by assumptions. People assume something is allowed because it feels normal. Texas law doesn't care how normal it feels. Texas may be known for freedom, but freedom doesn't mean lawless. It means responsibility. Some of these laws exist for safety. Some are remnants of older legal frameworks. And some simply remain because changing laws takes time and political effort.